Do you ever find yourself wondering if she's just being friendly or if she's really into you? Well, you are not alone. Most men miss the signals that women give off, and not because they're clueless, but because these signals are designed to be subtle. So, today, I'm breaking down the 5 things that women do only if they're interested in sleeping with you. And yes, this works as well on your girlfriend or wife as it does on a woman that you just met for the first time. But before we get into the 5 reasons, let's first understand why women send such mixed signals. Why not just say it out loud? Well, there are 2 main reasons that a woman's advances are so subtle. First, a lot of women actually think that they are being direct when the things that they are saying and doing are actually quite cryptic. Because of the differences in the way that men and women communicate, many women don't even realize that they're being unclear in their communication. Then there are women who know that they're being cryptic and wish that they could be more direct, but they've been socialized not to be. They're trying to be polite. They're trying not to come on too strong, and they're trying to protect themselves from rejection and shaming. They're playing the game the way that it was written for them. And even though we can all agree that this game is outdated, we haven't advanced to a new way of doing things. Plus, they don't know that you're subscribed to this channel and thus are already capable of having direct conversations about sex, which remember most guys are not. So instead of saying, "I want to sleep with you," or even, "I have a crush on you," most women come up with ways to give you little green lights. Some are subtle, some are flirty, some are practically neon signs. Don't worry, we'll get to all of the types, and I'll decode them all for you in this video. For now, all you need to know is that they are all permission-based signals. They're all a way of saying, "Hey, I'm open to this. Are you going to make a move?" Now, the second reason that women's signaling works like this is a little more complicated, but it makes a lot of sense when we break it down. And that reason is that a lot of women have a more responsive sexuality. And I don't just mean responsive as in the opposite of spontaneous desire. I mean that a lot of women are turned on by a man's desire for them. On the extreme end, this is where like Cincy and grape fantasies come into play. Women want to know that they are wanted. Being the object of your desire is a huge turn-on for them, almost as much as the drive for pleasure itself. And that means in order to access her highest turn-on, she needs for you to take the lead. And just the same way that I teach men how to make an environment of safety around the woman that you're interested in, her subtle cues and small permission-giving signals are her effort to make you feel safe enough to signal your desire for her, and then take the lead on initiating the physical side of things. She's trying to give you a chance to demonstrate your confidence, your leadership, your masculinity, all by taking initiative. It's the sort of same way that a submissive is really in charge of the scene in BDSM. But that is the subject of another video. So, without further ado, here are the 5 things that a woman will only do if she wants to sleep with you. Number 1, her body language opens up to you. Now, this is maybe obvious or commonly understood, but it is important enough to actually include here first. Whether you're meeting for the first time or already married, before she ever touches you, a woman's body language can tell you a lot about how she's feeling. When someone piques our interest, we naturally open up to them. So if you notice these small but meaningful gestures, it probably means that you have her interest and attention. Now, this could look like her turning her hips and chest towards you, even if you're in a group setting. She may look at you a lot and make consistent and lengthy eye contact. Maybe she even makes subtle moves to expose her neck or her chest to you. And some of this is happening consciously and by choice, but a lot of it is happening unconsciously as well. All of these things, when demonstrated in a pattern, are signals of interest and attraction. They're instinctive signs of trust and physical availability. I mean, think about it. Her body is literally opening up to yours. It couldn't get more symbolic if you tried. So, what should you do if you notice these symbols? Well, don't rush to do anything, but do reciprocate. Think of this as like the first few moves of a chess game. Or at least from what I understand, because I don't play chess. But I did just watch the episode of The West Wing where they all play chess. Knight to king 4 check. So I do feel like I know what I'm talking about now. Don't tell me chess moves. I moved my pawn. See if she puts a pawn out there, and then test to see how she responds when you put a pawn out there in response. That's your cue to send some small signs of attraction and see if things continue to escalate. Number 2, she gets physical and lingers. So, moving up on the sort of like obvious scale, the second sign is when she actually creates physical contact, and for a length of time. Touch is one of the clearest nonverbal cues that women give to communicate interest. Most women know by now that they need to be the one to go first in initiating some kind of physical contact. So, if she touches your arm, your shoulder, your leg, it means that she's interested in bridging that divide. But here's the thing, you are right. If you were thinking to yourself, but Caitlin, some people are naturally touchy. I don't want to misread her cues and then be called a creep. The distinction to look out for here is the linger. It's that extra moment or two that makes the difference between friendliness and flirtation. If a woman touches you to make a point or create just like basic human connection, that very well could just be platonic. What we're looking at here is the length of touch and the intention behind it. So, if she creates physical contact and then lingers for a moment, or if she seems like she's finding any excuse to touch you, like she's making multiple points of contact, she's picking lint off your shirt, she's fixing your hair, she's adjusting your tie or your shirt color, these are the signs to look out for. So when you notice this, mirror it gently by finding reasons to reciprocate that touch. Fix her necklace. Put a lock of hair back into place. Look for natural moments in the conversation to emphasize what you're saying with touch. Your best move here is to make it known that you're game to touch her back, which will make her comfortable to continue to escalate and build desire slowly. In previous generations, when people used to go partner dancing, this is what they were playing with. You would literally get close enough to another person to smell them, to test out how you move together, to see if you have any physical chemistry before exchanging numbers or deciding if you wanted to see each other again. Honestly, I think this is the best part of flirting, seeing what it feels like to have some physical contact between you. Even if you don't end up sleeping together, this part of the game can feel electric and exciting. As you continue to go back and forth with slightly more contact, see if she continues to open up to you and touch you. And if she does, that's a sign that you're good to proceed. Number 3, she creates opportunities to be alone with you. Now, this is a classic green light, but I think a lot of men miss it. And that is when she creates opportunities to get you one, on one. Maybe she lingers after the event or the party is done, and you find yourself standing together as the last two in the room. Or she follows you to the line for the bathroom or the snack bar. Or she mentions that her roommate's out of town this weekend and says, "You've got to come over and see my dog sometime." These are all ways that she's creating a space for something to happen. Like I said, women won't often make a very direct approach, but we are really good at setting up an environment where you might make a move. Again, even with these signs, it is important to stay respectful and continue to test to see if you're reading these signs correctly. So if you end up alone together in the line for drinks or suspect that she's trying to get you alone, you can actually be direct with her and ask her in a playful way, "Are you trying to get me alone?" Or even a more flirtatious thing like, "I've thought about what might happen if we were alone together." If that feels like too much, simply take her up on the moment of privacy, or at least semi-privacy that she's created, and continue to read her body language and escalate physical touch by getting closer to her, whispering to her, telling her a secret, creating some kind of an inside joke, or doing other things that signal that you have a private and special relationship with her. These are all things that you can do while you are waiting for a moment where you feel confident enough to make the next move. Number 4, she singles you out emotionally. Sex isn't just physical, it's emotional, especially for women. And if a woman is sexually interested, It means that she has singled you out, and her words will reflect it. She will use her words to let you know that she feels differently towards you than she does other men. She will say things like, "I don't usually feel this comfortable with people," or "I feel like I can totally be myself around you." These are good signs that she's telling you literally that you exist in a different category. You are different than men who she knows platonically. And again, if you're saying to yourself, "But Caitlin, these things could be said to a friend," you're totally right. So look for the other signals, and in particular look to see that all of them are part of a larger pattern. A little cue here, a small signal there, all of it adding up to mean something. So, if you're noticing multiple and repeated patterns that indicate her interest, and then she hits you with one of these, it's a clear sign that she's opening the door to something more between you. And now that we've progressed beyond body language and into verbal communication, this is a great opportunity to really reciprocate and see how she responds. And of course, a statement like, "I feel like you really get me," or "I feel so safe with you," or "You make me feel so." Insert your own flirtatious adjective. Here is a great opening to having a deeper, more direct conversation about how you feel about each other. All romantic relationships, and I would argue sexual ones too, are built on a foundation of feeling different, feeling chosen, feeling excited about the other person. So she's putting this bait out there. All you have to do is take it, which leads me to number 5. She leaves the door open to escalation. My final sign that she's thinking about sleeping with you, or open to sleeping with you, is that she creates a space for it to happen. Sometimes the clearest signs are wrapped in casual phrases like, "It's getting late, but I don't want to go home yet," or a little like lip bite, "Look at your eyes, so what now?" These are invitations. Like I said, women are all about creating an environment where you can make the move. And in terms of green lights, this is about as neon as it gets. But this is also where a lot of men freeze up. They aren't totally sure about where to take things. And instead of making a decision or pointing in one direction and then sticking to it, they sort of waffle, which can leave the woman feeling confused or disappointed. So, if you find yourself in a situation where it seems like she's carefully orchestrating a moment where you can step in and make a move, it's probably because she is. This is your chance to decide if you want to continue to escalate. So take a moment and think for yourself if you want to take the next step. Remember, you don't have to. Even as a man who's being offered sex, you can say no. And remember, you're not agreeing to sleep with her by extending the offer to go back to her place or make out or to share a cab on the way home or whatever it is. You're just deciding on the next right step and then sharing it with her. In other words, you're only consenting to one thing at a time. You're not deciding whether or not you two are going to get married. Go ahead and ask if you can kiss her. Suggest going back to your place. If that feels like too much, then maybe just say, "I'm really attracted to you, and I'd like to keep exploring this connection." Or even ask her how she feels about you by saying something like, "It seems like you're into me, and you want to keep spending time together." Think about it like this. The worst thing that can happen is she backs out, and you've made it so that if she does, you both have a gentle landing. If you make your move in a respectful and considerate way, even the worst case scenario really isn't that bad. Sex and dating are complicated. I'm sorry, they just are. I hope that my videos and this whole channel and this subject matter in particular help to kind of pull apart the complexities and make it more obvious. But it's worth noting that both men and women alike flirt for all sorts of different reasons, even if it's just the thrill. Remember that not all flirtations need to end in physical contact or sex or a relationship. As frustrating as that might be, people flirt and then change their minds or flirt just to flirt. So instead of hating the game, try seeing it as an opportunity. You don't expect to win every single time you play a game. That would be kind of boring. You play to enjoy the process and get better at it over time. Flirting is great practice, and it makes us feel more alive when we do it right. If you assess the signs and you sense that there's something there, trust yourself. If you escalate in a thoughtful and incremental way, like I've laid out here, you will have covered your bases at every step, and you won't have much to lose if either of you decides to bow out at any point. And remember, if you do put yourself out there and face rejection, it doesn't mean that you read the signals wrong. Other people have a lot going on that we can never fully know. We don't really know what's happening inside of her mind or in her life, so don't make it mean anything about you or about women as a whole. Don't walk away with the like all women are cryptic game players and I'm never going to try again attitude. You're not a victim here. You got to be flirted with and practice your flirting skills. Just review the tape like any good athlete would and get out there and compete again tomorrow. And on the bright side, if the night does end up with you two alone in your bedroom, I've got something that will help you to take things from good to unforgettable. You can download my free guide, 3 Sex Techniques to Wow Her, where I reveal 3 real pleasure maximizing techniques that I teach to my private clients. One of them being a secret trick that women actually use on themselves to edge themselves to orgasm. The link is in the description below. She's put in the work to send you these signals, and you've put in the work to decode them. So, make sure to leave you both with a sexual experience that you'll never forget. There you have it. Most women are not going to tell you directly when they want to sleep with you, but that doesn't mean that they're not showing you. So stay present. Look out for the signs. Lean with that calm, confident clarity that I know you can. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the button so that you can get all of my insights on sex, dating, and beyond. I'm Caitlin V. Thank you for watching. I'll see you here next time. Bye.